On the ancient plains of Kurukshetra, two mighty armies faced each other as the sun rose over the battlefield. In the midst of this vast field stood Arjuna's golden chariot. But as the battle drums thundered, Arjuna's courage faltered. His hands trembled, his heart heavy with sorrow. He saw not enemies but his beloved grandfather, his revered teacher, his cousins and friends, faces he could not bear to fight. Overwhelmed by grief and confusion, Arjuna lowered his bow, his spirit paralyzed by the thought of raising arms against his own kin. Beside him sat Krishna, calm, wise and unwavering, ready to offer guidance as a timeless conversation was about to begin. As Arjuna's heart trembled with doubt, Krishna began to speak, not with mere comfort, but with profound wisdom. He invited Arjuna to look beyond his sorrow and see the deeper truths of existence. First, Krishna revealed the nature of the soul, the Atman. The soul is eternal, he said. It is never born, and it never dies. Just as a person sheds worn-out clothes and puts on new ones, so does the soul discard old bodies and take on new ones. Weapons cannot cut the soul, fire cannot burn it, water cannot wet it, wind cannot dry it. The soul is indestructible, untouched by the world. Next, Krishna spoke of duty, svadharma. You are a warrior, Arjuna. Your path is to act with courage and righteousness. To abandon your duty out of fear or sorrow is to betray your own nature. But Krishna's wisdom did not end with duty. He taught the path of selfless action, karma yoga. Act, Arjuna, but do not be attached to the results. Let go of the fruits of your labor. Focus on the action itself, not on what you hope to gain or fear to lose. Krishna urged Arjuna to cultivate equanimity, a calm mind in success and failure, gain and loss. Be steady like a lamp in a windless place. True wisdom is to remain balanced no matter what comes. Finally, Krishna revealed the path of devotion, bhakti yoga. Offer your actions, your heart, and your mind to the divine. Through love and surrender you transcend fear and doubt. These yogas are parallel paths, each offering a unique approach to spiritual growth. You may choose the path that resonates most with your nature, whether it is action, knowledge, devotion, or meditation. Reflect on what calls to you, and walk that path with sincerity and heart. Krishna also spoke of self-mastery. The mind can be your best friend or your worst enemy, he said. Through discipline, moderation, and steady practice, you can train your mind to serve you, not control you. True mastery is to rule oneself. But the mind is always being pulled in different directions by three forces, called the gunas. Sattva brings clarity and light. Rajas stirs up restlessness and action. Tamas clouds the mind with confusion and inertia. Sometimes you feel calm and clear, sometimes restless, sometimes heavy and stuck. Krishna taught, become aware of these forces. Choose actions that increase sattva, purity and balance. When you act with awareness, you rise above all three. True self-mastery is not being ruled by any guna, but acting from a place of clarity and balance. Krishna's teachings were not just for Arjuna, but for all of us. They remind us that we are more than our fears, more than our doubts. We are eternal souls, called to act with courage, selflessness, and love. To understand Krishna's wisdom, let us follow the journey of a student preparing for an important exam. At first, the student feels anxious. Thoughts of failure cloud her mind and her hands tremble as she tries to study. The pressure to succeed makes it hard to focus. But then, she remembers to center herself. She takes a deep breath, lets go of her fears, and brings her attention back to her preparation. She focuses on her studies, doing her best with full dedication. Her mind becomes clear, and her hands steady as she writes and reviews her notes. She understands that her duty is to study with effort and sincerity, not to worry about the outcome. Whether she succeeds or fails, she knows she has given her best. This is the heart of karma yoga, acting with full dedication, but remaining detached from the results. The student finds peace in her effort, not in the outcome. Krishna's teaching is clear. Give your best to every action, but do not let your happiness depend on success or failure. In daily life, this wisdom helps us act with a calm mind and a loving heart, free from anxiety, and at peace with whatever comes. This is the path to inner peace, acting with dedication but letting go of the need to control the outcome. This is the wisdom of the detached hand, a lesson for every one of us, in every challenge we face. In our world today, we may not be warriors on a physical battlefield with bows and arrows, but we all face our own Kurukshetras every single day. The battle of deadlines at work, the conflict of difficult relationships, the pressure of exams, and the internal struggle with our own anxieties and fears. Arjuna's confusion is our confusion. His despair is our despair. And so, Krishna's wisdom is as relevant to us now as it was to him thousands of years ago. It is a timeless compass that can guide us through the complexities of modern life. Think of a student who is terrified of failing an important exam. By applying Krishna's teaching, the student can shift their focus. Their duty, or dharma, is to study with full concentration and effort. The result, whether they pass or fail, is not entirely in their control. By focusing on the action of learning itself, without being constantly anxious about the outcome, they can perform at their best.